Probably gonna do a little editing or whatever. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. This is going to be my X-Men review. God damn. I'm talking. Oh man, I hope y'all find something better to do with your weekend. Lord Jesus, hold on. We gonna do. I just want to pace myself. Like I said, I took notes. I couldn't believe how. We're not gonna say it's terrible. Spoiler warning, because they're all spoilers. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this movie. This movie sucks. Trust me, so many of us are glad that this shit is over with, and next time we see X-Men, we're gonna fucking love them. But this shit here, oh my god. You should have been able to take alcohol in the theater. Okay. Is it worth going to see? You're not gonna be wasting your money. It is a theatrical film. Unfortunately, it's an X-Men film done by Fox and Sony, so we know how that shit typically goes. Ah, nigga. I'm gonna just go to the notes, because like I say, the best way to do this is, like I said, it was so much that was, I mean, it was so much they could have done, and it was so much they didn't do, and it was so much they did, and a lot of it is, why the fuck did you do that? I mean, that is the whole premise of this shit. Why the fuck did you do that? Now, I can actually say, at least X-Men kept me interested. Side note, I seen Aladdin too. And so far, Will was doing a good job, but it just lost me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back and finish looking at it, but I hate it when a movie does that. I can at least say X-Men did not lose my attention. Now, was in the beginning kind of long and drawn out bunch of words on paper, if you ask me. Like I say, I'm not going to say the script is bad either. The script is kind of decent. It's just what the fuck they did with it. And side note, another reason you may hate this movie is because, to my knowledge, the same person that did part 3 of the X-Men Phoenix movie, the first one that we met, that sucked as well, the same person did it and wrote it. So I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody at Fox and Sony should be slapped the shit out of. This nigga fucked up the first time. Why would you give him the same franchise to fuck up again? Because the first one was messed up. Okay, so hold on. Let me get to these damn notes. I gotta find where I put them at. Okay. It really is. It's slick trash. And the movie should have been called X-Men Plot Holes. Oh my god. Like I said, okay, the movie starts off, it sets up all kinds of shit. It sets up various fucking plots that don't get fucking answered. I mean, it's like the movie just ends, if you will. So much shit was not fucking explained. Like I said, the plot holes everywhere. The first one was, where did the goddamn solar flare come from? There was no origin to explain the solar flare, show how powerful it was prior to getting to outer space, even why it came to outer space. There could have been some scenes where NASA was like, some shit's coming to Earth, what are we going to do about it? That's how this shit should have started off. This movie should have started off like Independence Day, where the world was panicking and they didn't know who the fuck to call. So they had to call Xavier to see if they could do something about it, and Hank should have been monitoring the situation. It just should have been more scientific, and it wasn't. It was terrible. So that wasn't explained. Then, oh my god, on top of the fucking Phoenix Force showing the fuck up, okay, whatever, outer space happens, blah blah blah, that shit happens. The fucking aliens show up, and you're like, who the fuck is these motherfuckers? And then when they show up, they give you the typical, okay, it's 3 bright lights in the sky, look like a triangle, they split apart. Okay, I was going for that, but they didn't explain if these 3 things was pods, if these were just 3 aliens, if they was in 3 ships. Because by the time the end of the movie jumps off, nigga, apparently it's what, 6 or 7 of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They don't explain this shit. They just like show the fuck up. What's another one? Yeah, like I said, who the fuck were the aliens? The movie's only bad because it didn't explain a lot of the great aspects that could have been. If these aspects was explained, X-Men would have been a very, very good movie. I mean, but once again, when they probably went back and like they said, Disney looked at it and said it needed to be reshot, technically the whole fucking movie should have been reshot. But they couldn't afford this shit. So they did the best they could with the last quarter of the movie, the last part. And they did. So, but hold on, we got to get there. The next thing, oh my god, this really pissed me off. Once again, spoiler warning. So, if you're still watching this shit and you know you're interested, okay, spoilers is coming in 3, 2, 1. Unfortunately, Mystique dies. But the point of it that pissed me off is, if this is the case, then why wasn't Mystique Black Widowed in the beginning of the movie? She should, the opening of the movie should have had something to do with her maybe breaking into somewhere, noticing some people was monitoring the solar flare for bad purposes. I mean, all of this shit could have been fixed. That's why X-Men is getting such bad reviews. All of this shit could have been fixed. And they just did it like, it'll be alright. We'll fix it in editing. No, nigga, not everything can be fixed in editing. But like I said, everything that's bad in the movie could have been avoided. Like I say, if Mystique, if we were supposed to care about her dying, then we should have been able to get attached to her. Now, like other people are saying that the previous films, which once again, that's another fucking pothole. As far as I'm concerned, First Class, what was the next movie with Apocalypse? I thought they had another one too. None of these movies go together. Like your first 3 X-Men movies all go together. Even with Wolverine, Logan being on the end, it goes together. This shit don't even fucking go. What the fuck? This, once again, why? That's the problem with this movie. So many whys. Okay. The next thing. They have a government shutdown of the mutants, like all of a sudden, what the fuck happens? They start saying that they rounding up mutants for whatever reasons, and like literally Xavier supposedly has got one of them red phones like Batman and the president do. It's a nigga called the phone. They say, we're not taking your calls anymore, and hang up. Okay. With that being said, after the end of the movie and all of that happens, we'll get to the end in a minute. Why the fuck wasn't it addressed? What are we doing about the beef between humans and mutants? It never was talked about. Then this fucking school reopens, and they name it after Jean Grey. When? How? What? How did the kids get to come back to school? They're all mutants. Didn't the government attack these motherfuckers? I mean, I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Didn't explain that at the end of the movie, when the Phoenix does what the Phoenix does, more or less. Where the fuck did she go? She didn't come back. She didn't say nothing. We don't know if this bitch died. Nothing. We don't know nothing. She's just gone. Just gone. Yeah, this was literally a WWE movie. The third act, the final act, you do that. You can tell that's why they spent all the money for the pyrotechnics. But this was a WWE product. There was no special effects in the beginning. Case in point, there's a particular part in the beginning when Jean is describing to Cyclops how she's feeling, how the powers is, she feels this and all that. Instead of her talking about this shit, why the fuck weren't we seeing this shit? Why the fuck didn't we see her and Scott fly up in the air or some pretty shit? I mean, so much shit could have been capitalized on that wasn't even attempted on. It was just like, pleh, that's how we're gonna do it. What? Let me get my notes back up. Okay, so school. Where the fuck did she go? No pyrotechnics. And then we had a lot of X-Men, but they didn't show off their powers. They didn't show off, like I say, it could have been so much more action, and it didn't even have to be a lot of action. You could just show the kids generally using their powers and stuff. This is a comic book movie. I want to say they forgot that this was a comic book movie. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? Let's see. I said stop! Okay. Now I have to edit that stupid shit out. That's about like what? 9 something. Goddamn children. Like I said, it was enough mutants. It just they didn't show their powers off. That's stupid. Just a lot of times when these mutants and kids was talking, they should have been showing off their powers, and they didn't do that. That was just dumb. I mean, I don't know what, maybe production, but fuck all that. They said they spent a lot on this movie. Apparently they didn't spend shit until Disney came and said we had to change the end of the fucking movie. Because somehow they said it would have been similar to Captain Marvel. I mean, yeah, I don't see how there was going to be a space battle at the end of this movie at all. I mean, once again, like, we didn't never see an alien ship whatsoever. So I don't see how the similarities between this and Captain Marvel could have been, but that could have been that massive reboot of the whole end of the movie. Like I said, they didn't build none of the characters. That's why we didn't connect with any of this shit. It was just like, puh, like somebody spit out a movie. I mean, there was no build. There was no... The relationships between the characters was not discussed. I mean, they were trying to piggyback off of the previous two movies, but if them two movies is barely connected, and then Apocalypse sucked so much ass. I mean, it's just, and then you had the Phoenix in that. How you gonna have the Phoenix in that, and the Phoenix did not show up until this movie? Understand? You can't sit here and tell me that the Phoenix is inside Jean the whole fucking time. No, that's not gonna fly. You fucking up the comic book. That's not even what's in the comic book. Now you changing shit. Stupid. Once again, like I said, no build, no connections between none of the other movies. And overall, the whole movie, why? You know what I'm saying? I would have scrapped this whole shit. What's the main girl? The girl that said, I don't watch Game of Thrones. But apparently, Jean, the character, the actress that plays her is in Game of Thrones. And everybody says she acts 10 times better in that. I mean, like I said, she was poorly directed. You know what I'm saying? This was ass. You could tell, like they said, all the scenes, you could tell none of the actors wanted to be there. Charles Xavier, the dude that played, he the only nigga acting. Nobody else acted. Magneto's there, but he's like... I mean, it's like so many of the mutants are there and they just don't fucking matter. This should not have been done. This shit feels like an episode of X-Men instead of an X-Men movie. Really, so... yeah, damn. If I had to rate this out of 5 blunts, how many would I give it? Nigga, you gonna have to smoke all 5 of them, but this is not a 5 blunt movie. This is, oh my god. Like I say, it feels like an episode, like a great X-Men episode. If it wasn't for the fact they had such a star-studded cast, this shit should have been on TV. It should have been on the streaming service, but because the actors that are in it are well known and they're great fucking actors, they just had shit script, and dude sucked that did it. He sucked on the first Phoenix. Fuck, why would you let a nigga do something twice and this is so much money? Hollywood, I'm mad at you. Whoever gave him the job again. And like, first of all, with Bryan Singer getting caught up in all the little so-called sexual misconduct, all that shit, they should have scrapped all his projects, because this shit did not help. It was a waste. I mean, it's not hurting anything because Disney's got it, so I understand. Y'all was like, well, hell, might as well put it out. Pay the last few little people you can. I understand that, but why